Well, good afternoon, everybody. And by God, I tell you, it's hot. It's hot, hot out there, and it's hot in here. But I thought, sod it, it's Friday. I'm going to come back from work, and I'm going to do a little bit of work on my Kawasaki start again. I'm going to do a little bit of work on my Kawasaki GPZ 750. So how did I end up with this? Well, I've been looking for a GPZ 1100 for a very long time, but either well, let's be honest, they're unaffordable. They've gained a massive price. And the more and more I thought about it, I've got a lot of fast bikes. Really what I want is the styling and that Kawasaki thing. So when this 750 came up, and you know, I was quite prepared to have a 750 at any time, but when this one came up for good money, it was too good to let go. You know, this is going to be a forever garage bike, not like some of the others I've got. And it's also had a lot of sensible things done to it. The guy spent a fair bit of money on it. New brake lights, the brakes all work. I heard it turn over. Now it doesn't run, it needs the carbs doing, usual story. And since I lent somebody my ultrasonic and never got it back, and I can't remember who, that's my next purchase, new ultrasonic cleaner. Thank you, that person who I lent that to in good faith. Nice one. So what am I doing at the moment? Well, give me a second, I'll show you. So I don't suppose anybody actually really knows, but when I went to pick up this baby, a little Honda, which I've been working on for a while, a Honda 200 XLR, probably around about the late 80s, early to mid 90s, not sure yet, but anyway, another story. We were bringing this back and the seats blew off over the Orwell Bridge. Luckily, it landed at the side of the Orwell Bridge in a place where I could recover it. So when I picked this baby up, a few things have been taken off. The guy's been doing some sensible, nice work on it. I just wanted to make sure absolutely anything that could fall off, blow off or come off was taken off, put in the truck. So I'm just reassembling it loosely to have a look and see what we've got. Now, one of the problems with this HGPZ is the paint does this. So what's happening there, I would imagine, is moisture gets under the lacquer and lifts it off. So she is not a minter by any sort of persuasion, but what she is, from what I can tell, and this video is going to help as I go around, is pretty original. She's had the anti-dive taken off, which is a real shame. I do know a person who has a set of anti-dive for this, and I might pursue them. Broken mirror. I do have the side casings. You can see that's there. I'm just getting around to putting that on. The seat, got airbox, original airbox. Even came with a battery that had charge in it. As I say, I've heard it turn over. Chain guard. There's a whole box of stuff here, including a gasket set, control cables, hoses, pipes, all sorts of nice things. So yeah, it's a case of let's get her together, let's see what she really needs, and then we can start to do some good stuff with the carburetors and get her running. So what I am seeing, braided rear hose, new back tyre, new front tyre, as I say, the brakes work. It's got the obligatory Nita replacement exhaust, which, to be honest, I don't mind. You know, I'll live with that. Yeah, it's a little bit dusty and dirty, I'll admit. But actually, she's in pretty good condition. I can see that there's a new gasket on the, I'm presuming, clutch side. So she's probably had a set of plates. There's also a brand new clutch cable. Spark plugs just look like spark plugs. What else we got? I don't know, I think this guy's actually spent a bit. There's the hell lines that are on there. Brakes feel good, actually. I bought it down the trailer using the brakes. So we have a really good set of replacement mirrors. to replace that, and it's the whole thing. Got a little crack in the fairing we'll address when we start to do body work. But all in all, oh, and the back pod, I've just dug out the aluminium stuff. I'm going to refit it all, get it back on the bike, work out what little rubber bits I need and inserts, and got the backlight there. Got to figure out the rest of the rear number plates, hanger and mudguard, see where that goes. But they're quite an interesting bike because you've got your standard clocks, and then you've got this LCD display on the tank, and that shows you fuel. You've got things like, have you got your stand down, is there oil, is the battery good when you turn it on. You've also got light controls here, but when this lights up it looks mighty pretty. Look there inside the fairing, very simple for its day. But I mean, this was a revolutionary shape. So this is a 1983 bike, I believe, and you can see how the tank swoops down into the side panels. Quite reminiscent of our 1983 FJ 1100, and this was the styling of the day. Another very similar bike is the Suzuki Katana, and if either an 1100 or a 750 Katana comes up, I would add that to my 1984 collection. Yeah, okay, but you can see where the styling's sort of going, that all-inclusive swoopy thing, you know. So it was quite nice. So there you go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to carry on just pottering along, and tomorrow when I come up here, I'll catch up with you again. So these are the original aluminium castings. And I think Mark, who's the guy I bought this from, had probably taken them off to address the state of the paintwork. I'm just going to put them on, well, I must say loosely, properly, but not fully, just so I can get to grips with it all. I don't know if you can hear, but in the background I've got both fans on, and you need it. It's a little bit airless today, to say the least. That one. So this one hasn't got the proper screws, which is a shame because the proper screws have a bigger head on them. But do you know something, looking at those, I think they're standard Kawasaki fairing screws. And believe it or not, the standard Kawasaki fairing screws are still available, because both the ZZR and the ZX12 have them. And I recently ordered some for the ZX12. So I mean, some of you might be aware, you might not, that I recently acquired 3 new motorbikes. When I say new, second-hand, well actually 4. I can't remember the last video I did, but I purchased for myself the little Honda XLR 200. Haven't had a Charles bike for a long time. I really fancied one. You know, it's a cheap thing. It was in a bit of a mess when I got it. The idea was obviously to fix it up. That's what I enjoy doing. and then you build a bit of a rapport with the machine. And that's what I've been doing. I haven't really spent a great deal on it. Chain and sprocket was probably, and a new rear shocker. So that's the metal work on there. Just one thing, bear with me a second, don't go anywhere. Okay, so I have the original handrail, and obviously that's got fittings, but it sits on some cups, which I don't have. But when I said I don't have, I do have another grab rail, but I've got a feeling it might be a little bit wider, might not. Might go and try this on. Should we do that? Okay, I've compared it on the bench and there are some differences. So what I'm going to do is forget the grab rail for the moment. I'm just going to have a look and see how all this goes on now. So I mean, basically, I'm guessing that's how it fits on. Like that. And then the grab rail bolts onto there. And I can see, looking at marks here, let me try and show you. I would imagine what I'm seeing here, these marks, are hacksaw marks where somebody's hacksawed the whole thing off. It's recoverable, but it's a shame. So that's the side panels on. Now I'm not going to bolt this up just yet because it's all going to come off again. But what I might do is put the other side panel on the other side. Let's see how that goes. So I've got one of the inserts there, so I can just loosely bolt this on. I'll do that now. Oh, nice one diversion. Don't kill me. As you can see, we're a bit tight on space because, as I say, I've been given 3 other bikes, but the 3 bikes I've been given happen to be, well, one of them is, 2 of them, sorry, are pretty much fully dismantled. And one of them is, this diversion I've got behind me is also, you know, not exactly fully complete. So I've got bits and boxes of bits and stuff and everywhere. Again, don't get me wrong, I'm really not complaining. It's great to have all this stuff, but it does make it tight on space at the moment. Right, let's put the Crown achievement on it. There you go. Okay, you ready? So that's a bit more the bike I've bought. Beautiful, isn't she? A lot of work yet, but hopefully we'll get her up and riding very shortly. So next job, measure the width of the carburettors. So I'm going to just put you there. Got a tape measure. So we're at an absolute minimum of 150 mil wide, not 150 mil. What am I talking about? Right, let's do that again and actually look at the tape measure. I think we're talking 450 mil actually. No, 350 mil. So 14 inch, 350 mil. And I'm sorry, it's an obligatory thing when you get a new bike. Oh yes, I am going to enjoy owning this. I do have the ignition keys and everything, which is really, really nice. As I say, it's surprisingly complete, this deal is, for something I've bought. Okay, let's give you a show around and let you see what we've got. I might do a quick video tonight and then we'll go forward tomorrow with something new. So here is the diversion. Now, the 3 bikes I've been given. Oh, let me just shorten this tripod. It's getting a bit unmanageable. Right, diversion. The 3 bikes I've been given. This is the one that's together, and they all came from the same owner. And as you can see, again, somebody has put, the original owner, has put a lot of effort into this. New chain sprockets, paintwork done, wheels refurbed, tyres. We come round the side here. You can see brakes all overhauled, new clutch cable. Master's been done. I've bled it up for the first bleed. That's good. It just needs another bleed through now. New front discs, new brakes, wheel painted, new front tyre. Engine's pretty clean. I'm not sure if it's original mileage. It's got a different speedo on. I've got a screen for the fairing. Paintwork's not brilliant, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. So this bike is actually, I'd say 99% complete. So moving on from that, well, you've seen the Honda, you've seen me FJ, you know about me XS chop. If any of you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you'll know that one of the other things I've got is a VF 700. So the 700 came out specifically for the American market. It used to be a 750 and they sleeved it down or whatever, changed the stroke to get it through a tax loophole. So there's the motor, and unfortunately what I'm seeing is in the inlet, I don't think I can really show you. No, I'll probably do more tomorrow. Water's got in, they're upright. Moisture just wicks into these things and the valves have rusted. There's also some rust in the boards I've noticed, and you can see This is garage. You keep things in a garage unless it's heated, you get rust forming and this kind of detritus. Can't help it. You can only do what you can do. It might be salvageable. It might actually end up, I've talked to a few mates, these suffer quite badly with the liners cracking. So we'll have to do a top-end inspection. We've got a clutch there, new clutch plates. There's some clutch components. This is another job for me to put that back together, put the casing on. There's also things like water pump, starter motor I've got to chase up and get sorted. So I've just had a look through the box of bits, and there's some great stuff, and it's very encouraging. Old rear sprocket, new front sprocket. So obviously he looked at the chain, decided, nah, don't need to change the front one, and went ahead. Don't know what that is, but it's a Kawasaki genuine part. I found like these bushes, which I think are for the all of the plastics. Brake seals, valve guide seals, probably not required yet, bearings. So, you know, work has been done and there was more planned, which is really, really good. The only thing I've got to admit I'm disappointed in, not in the sale obviously, I think I've done very well, but a large chunk of the back mudguard has been cut out by somebody at some time, probably quite a long time ago. Now I have the bit that stands the number plate off, which I'm very grateful for, but I need to try and source a complete rear mudguard. So I'm in a few forums, that'll be a job for tonight, see if I can get that picked up.